heard about the way that I be. I pull her body to me slowly. Yeah, she whispered to me, are you ready for me? Don't even ask for me. I spend this cash probably. If you get loose, we can lose it out on this floor. So what you got for me? 'Cause we could both be in my kitchen, girl. Just listen first, I gotta see you.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
We're back live from Cleveland L. Abbott Memorial Stadium on the campus of Tuskegee University, where we have a environmental break-in. We have a 30-minute lightning break here on the campus. And while we're waiting, we're going to go with our partner show, Dr. Gaville's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Charles Bishop and Michael Washington. We're going to join that program now in progress.
Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. Man, I hope my team they won. I hope my team they won. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Ville, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball.
This is Dr. Gaville with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. As you see, Mike Washington is out on assignment, and I've been pecked by the right hand because you see I got Alabama A&M, the wife didn't call the number. All of a sudden, I see this shirt in my bag, and then I get this funny text message to say, hey, aren't you doing the show today? I said, yes. Why do you ask? I always do the show on Thursday. Oh, there's something in your bag that you might want to, put on, and since we are on in your poll and stuff like that, you might want to show everybody. I said, okay, touche, I understand. I know where I want to come home to. So I was like, oh, no problem whatsoever. So Charles, you seem like you put on your little jacket, you switch to your Texas Southern. I do the same thing.
Yeah, you better. That's smart. That's smart.
No doubt about it.
They say you better walk in the house and go Bulldogs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Ville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Welcome to episode 180 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab Show and Podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU dash from all things HBCU sports. From institutions large and small, from NEIA to the NCAA, we share insights and information on HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, Dr. DeVille, along with my co-host, Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. We're filming from our home studio and sending signal loud to KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, that's Ralph Cooper, in a beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. With that being said, we did a special edition to kind of warm things up. So check us out. That's BCSN special edition. You'll see more of these coming throughout the year. What we do, you just 15 minutes or 30-minute hot takes with an interview of a coach, an athletic director, or maybe even a player. This is something that Roy specializes in and kind of got the creative juices going and recommended to me. I was like, man, that's brilliant. So we're going to get that going. So check those out. But check out the one we had today. We had the interview of the new Allen University Athletic Director, Joshua Cox. Did that in coordination with
Out of Being Heard.
If you're looking for quality seafood with friendly service, then the Fish Shack is the place for you. We're fast, fresh, and convenient, and ready to serve you today. You can order online and come in, or pick up your food curbside. We have outdoor seating as well. Need something to cool your taste buds? We have tasty daiquiris that you're sure to love. So come see us today at the Fish Shack in Byram, where we have great seafood and good daiquiris.
Okay, so how long have you been coming to Stan's?
Since 1987. I've forever loved Stan's Burgers because the people, they're real people. They help the community and their family own and operate. And the food, the quality, and service has always been phenomenal. And anywhere I'm at, I always recommend people to them. It's great food, and you get enough love for your money. If you need a good place to eat and you want a good environment to support the community and support the effort of the Jackson community, I recommend Stan's Super Burger to you because, like I said,
HBCU League Pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU League Pass. It's game time. I'm proud and I love my HBCU. HBCU League Pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU League Pass. It's game time. I'm proud and I love my HBCU.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the pregame with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the pregame.
And welcome into another beautiful Saturday football
for Jackson State. It is the pregame show here on the Black College Sports
You left
Network.
me hanging, man.
Bishop and Neely, man, you got all sorts of action going on where you are, man. I'm here live from Malone Stadium here at University of Louisiana Monroe, but you got all the action over there by you, buddy.
Hey, well, the action is going to be where you are at 7 p.m., Chuck. I'm here at the team hotel, and players are walking by, going to walk through before we get ready to get on the bus and head over to Monroe, so I can fist bump you, Chuck, when I get there. You beat us there, Chuck.
Yeah, I did. I've made all the pleasantries, if you will. The fine people, fine staff over here at UL Monroe, they've been so gracious to me, opened up the press box and everything. It's been so far so good before we get the pleasantries on the football field.
Yeah, good deal, Chuck. Glad that you're there on site at the stadium. We will be leaving here, the team hotel in Jackson, about 2:45 p.m. Central Time, headed your way. So we'll see you soon. The staff is here. The players are here, getting ready to do some last-minute walkthroughs in one of the big ballrooms. Something a lot of NFL teams do when they're sequestered the day before a game at the team hotel. Wake up that morning, have lunch, look at a little film, go through some last little lessons, have that walkthrough on carpet, get those mental reps back going before you get on that bus ride to the stadium.
There you go, no doubt about it. 117 miles separates Jackson from Monroe, but this is the first meeting for Jackson State and UL Monroe, Neil.
Yeah, and it's going to be a historic meeting in a lot of regards because you not only have the two schools playing for the first time, you have Coach Prime Deion Sanders coaching against a Bowden for the first time. And so there's going to be some commemoration of the special relationship that the two universities share with Coach Bowden, who passed earlier this football season. So you're going to see some pageantry in that regard and see some pleasantries exchanged between those two head coaches. But then it's game time, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of storylines galore in this game. Jackson State special teams coach, Alan Ricard, he's a 3-year letterman here at ULM from 1996 to 1998. You also got starting cornerback, Kerrick Wiggins. He was a starter here at UL Monroe. Now he is a part of our Jackson State football team.
Warren Newman, Christian Allen just walked by. I had to shout them out, man. Hey, Warren Newman, man, what about in the car last night? National TV put the points up.
Yeah, they did. Shout out in the car.
So this team, as you just mentioned, is full of guys from Louisiana. Warren Newman just walked by from New Orleans. His team was on last night. Going on, fellas, you all right? Last night, national TV, his high school team in the car. But Chuck, as you mentioned, playing University of Louisiana Monroe today over in the big city of Monroe, Ouachita Parish. You know, I got a ton of Ouachita Parish women's stories, but we can say those later today.
Please.
Hey, it's almost like Charles Barkley and San Antonio. You know, they're gonna take us off there, Chuck, if I tell them Ouachita Parish women's stories.
You know Ouachita Parish stories, but I know you got many of them. But a great game that we're looking forward to today with Jackson State and ULM. It is a FCS versus FBS matchup. You know, Neely, 8 times already in this 2021 season, we've had an FCS team knock off an FBS team, looking to make it 9 today with Jackson State ULM.
Yeah, I tell you what, Chuck, and there's some believers out there, not just at 1400 Lynch Street. Did you see Vegas adjust those odds?
I did.
Thursday night, Friday morning, you could have turned $100 into 1,300. What's going on, man? You good? But then they dropped that down to -5 instead of -24. So somebody is changing their minds out there. I tell you that.
It sounds like Ace Rothstein got the call from Kansas City.
Or the Kansas City Mac.
Exactly.
Called in Booty Farnsworth.
Kansas City Mac called in Booty Farnsworth. Exactly. But it should be a great game. We listen to
Coach Michael Pollard.
I see Coach Michael Pollard coming in.
I coach you smooth, man.
Yes, indeed. When we listened to Terry Bowden's press conference, he mentioned the talent that Jackson State has in a lot of ways. He mentioned in his press conference, even more talented than potentially this UL Monroe team.
Certainly more talented than when ULM signed this deal. I can tell you that much. You know, a lot has changed than when this game is scheduled. As many of you guys out there know, we got an educated, passionate fan base. These games just don't come about the year that they're being played. They were discussed, you know, a couple seasons before. So the landscape has changed in both of those programs. I mean, you're talking about you got Rich Rodriguez is over there as offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
You got Deion Primetime Sanders as head coach at Jackson State, and Dennis Thurman as defensive coordinator, and Jeff Weeks from the NFL as D-line coach. So there's a lot of nuances and dynamics that have changed since this game became a game for both teams on paper. Now that we're here to play it, and Jackson State's been performing well in a lot of categories the first 2 games of the season. And you saw Vegas, any of you guys out there who watched the lines, you saw that line narrow over the past 48 hours.
Yes, it did.
Saw it narrow.
Yes, it did. Oh my, how things have changed in a year. This time last year, Neely, rumors were all about Jackson, and look what we opened underneath the Christmas tree, if you will.
Yeah, man. Matter of fact, it was posted on our social media today, the interview that you and I did with WJTV when they were talking about the rumors on this day, September 18th, a year ago. And you talk about rumors then, what about the rumors now? No one a year ago believed he was even coming. And now all the rumors are that he's leaving.
Exactly.
So 1 year later, still rumors, still about the same guy, just the door going the other way. But I can tell you this, Chuck, and it mirrors what we may get into later about those Washington Parish women. Let me tell you something out there to all my listeners. If you're dating somebody that don't nobody else want, break up with them now.
A Neelyism to start the show.
Break up with them now. You can never fire a bad employee too soon. If don't nobody else want them, I'm telling you that's a problem. And we have a guy that people want, so those rumors are going to grow and grow. It's all good. D-line coach Jeff Weeks talking about. He's heading on around the corner to the walkthroughs, man. Around the corner in a bigger ballroom. Offensive and defensive walkthroughs about to take place. Let me tell you where we are, Chuck. We're actually out here at the Refuge Resort.
Yes.
Connected to your favorite golf course when you were in town, when you were back home. Right there. What's going on, Coach? You good? So the players, one thing that we do is stay sequestered the night before a game, whether it's a home game or a short drive away. So they checked in here yesterday afternoon. Y'all good? Fist bumps all around. Oh man, you all right? So it's hey Chuck, it's lively here. It's a living room.
It's very much so. Very much so.
People are walking on by here. Let me get out the way. You're good?
Guys are coming in the view, getting us last mental reps, as you mentioned, going through.
Hey, got the glasses on. We got the glasses on, Chuck. Be serious today. I should have broke out the glasses.
Yeah, you got.
So yeah, we're out here at the Refuge Resort, the Sheraton. You got the lazy river out here connected to the Refuge golf course. I remember that's what Coach Phillips switched you at, man. Didn't he hook you out here?
Yeah, you would mention that, wouldn't you? Yeah. Yes, indeed. I got a pretty thorough look at Coach Phillips. He is a bit of a scratch
looking
off.
at him right down the way down. He's down there chilling, getting his mental reps in. Coach, you good? Yeah, man, cannot complain, man.
Yes, indeed. You mentioned Jeff Weeks. He walked in the shot there, but we're talking about a defense that had just an awesome performance last week against Tennessee State. 8 sacks, but James Houston, 4.5 sacks, 10 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss. He had a tremendous game last week.
He did have a tremendous game, Chuck. And one thing I love, and Roy, you can get ready to cue it up. We had a conversation with James Houston before the game. Part of the pregame show is emphasis in the pre-part, so we were out there and he's getting warmed up and getting his mind right. And we spent about a minute or so with him talking about what goes through his head as he's preparing for a game. And he went on to have a big game. Let's take a listen to that interview. James Houston getting loose and ready for the game here at the Southern Heritage Classic. James, what's your thought process, this time before kickoff as you get ready?
So right now I'm really just thinking about my assignments. A little bit of daydreaming, just kind of envisioning plays being made before I get on the field, getting loose and stuff. Just doing your assignment, you do your assignment, we're going to win the game.
Speaking of assignments and big plays, you made a big play at the end of last week against FAMU. You still got the battle scar from it, little stitches there. What are you looking for as your impact on this particular game?
Almost the same thing. Just make big plays, cause a shift in the game almost. So just do whatever I can, but mostly just do my job.
Hey, that's James Houston, one of the anchors on this Tiger defense, getting loose as we get ready to head into kickoff for the Southern Heritage Classic. It's Neely with the pregame show, straight from the Tiger's mouth.
welcome back into the pregame show. Bishop and Neely here on the Black Collar Sports Network. As the WJSU crew, they're getting ready to get coming here into the radio booth with me. But I tell you what, you talk to James Houston, you talk about the game he had last week, 4.5 sacks. And I tell you what, he was loaded for bear from the jump, and he really put a lot of pressure on Tennessee State's quarterbacks.
He did, man. And I've coined the phrase like James Worthy, big game James.
Yes.
That's what I call him now. And please don't think that Tennessee State just happened. It happened in Miami, and so I expected that to happen in Monroe. So we're looking forward to that defensive line play. And Chuck, I tell you what now, if I can just reach into my Bullwinkle hat and pull out what I think is going to happen. I think ULM is going to try to run the ball. And let me tell you why I think they're going to try to run the ball. It's not because they think we have a weak defensive line. It's because they want to keep our strongest asset off the field. And the longer you can keep Shedeur Sanders on the sideline and keep those receivers on the sideline, the better your chance are controlling the clock and the scoreboard. So I'm looking for ULM to try to establish some dominance in that run game. And who can quickly change that mindset and that philosophy to make them shift from that? It's James Houston and that defensive line in that front four.
That defensive line.
Here they come by now.
Here they come now, right on cue. Walking into the shot. But, Neely, when you talk about that, and it's a basic foundational principle of Dennis Furman, stop the run, make them one-dimensional, and then our guys can tee off. We see Miles Gaddy and James Houston both come flying off the edge.
That's what it's going to take, man. And Malik McClain just walked by a little early. Can't forget him. Imagine a situation where you got McClain. I'm doing the field. You got McClain. You got James Houston. You got Niles Gaddy. And one of those other linebackers, pick your mix. Aubrey Miller just walked by with Keontae Hampton. So I think the defense is going to be in for some testing today, but I think they're up to it as well.
Yeah. You take a look. Limited Florida A&M and Tennessee State to less than 250 total yards. So the defense has definitely been the talk of the town. But the other talk of the town, Shedeur Sanders, breakout performance last week, 30 of 40, 352 yards. Best passing performance by a Jackson State quarterback since, get this, 2014. So that was a heck of a performance when you talk about Shedeur Sanders and what he was able to do. Lamontaze Ivy had last 400 yard for Jackson State back in 2014. Shedeur almost got there 362 last week.
And that's why I think, Chuck, that they're going to make an emphasis to try to keep him off the field. You saw the same thing when Peyton Manning was at the University of Tennessee, or even when he was at the Colts. You saw it with, Tom Brady when he's been with those classic matchups. When he was with New England and even Tampa Bay, the longer you can keep the biggest weapon to score, the threat to score on the bench, the more opportunity you have. So I think they're going to try to control the clock with the run game. I think Dennis Thurman's defense is up to the task to make them shift from that. When you talk about the Sanders, can't help but talk about the Sanders family. In the past couple of games, Shedeur has not only had a brother on the field, he's had a brother on the sideline. And so we spent some time with Deion Sanders Jr. pregame and then postgame to talk about what it was like to be there to watch both his younger brothers play. And they had some good back and forth. So let's take a look at that clip, the Sanders brothers, if you will, last week in Memphis at the Southern Heritage Classic.
You showed up for FAMU and we won. You showed up for Memphis, we win. You know that means you got to come every week.
We can talk about it. My pocket's a little thin right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's getting pretty expensive, the hotel and everything. But I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there every day. I got to score.
Yeah, man. Tiger fans are really excited to see you and your sister on the sidelines, and I know they're gonna be more excited when y'all come out this tunnel with the team. A lot of energy, man. Your family means a lot to Jackson State.
No, we appreciate y'all for just accepting us and accepting us as part of y'all family. Not only we accepted you part of ours, but y'all accepted us as part of y'all's family. So we appreciate that.
It's all good, all love. I gotta tell you this though. I was the first GOAT order in Mississippi. Yeah.
I appreciate the love, my brother. I appreciate the love. God is great. Thank you, man.
Good deal. We're going to catch you out on the sideline after the game. Tiger, legendary. Big Deion. Deion Sanders Jr., Shiloh Sanders, together in Memphis. How'd that feel?
Feels great, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing this since high school. We've been doing this for a long time, so it's nothing new to us. Beating these boys like this, you know what I'm saying? we've been doing this.
Now look, your brother was in Miami, we won. He's in Memphis, we won. He's got to come to every game, right?
In high school, he was every one of my games we won. So it is him. But we need someone to start funding his flights though, because he. Hey, we need to get his flights sponsored. Thank you.
So how did it feel witnessing your brothers on both sides of the ball get this big victory today?
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I love being here. But it's not about me right now. It's about these young champions right here.
Shador, nearly 400 yards passing right here in Memphis, Tennessee.
We spoke it into existence. Hey, that's my brother. Yeah. We set 400 yards. Every week is a competition. Last week he had a better game than me. This week is me. Oh!
Hey, those are my brothers. Those are my brothers, guys.
We gave y'all the ball. We gave y'all the ball.
That was Shiloh, Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders Jr. The final score, Jackson State 38, Tennessee State 16. Southern Heritage Classics in the books. Another great one. The I Love, the pregame show, and our partners over at HBCU Game Day. Like, share, follow, subscribe. It's Bishop Neely from Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey, Chuck, and we're back. Nice little segment ending that Southern Heritage Classic, talking with the Sanders brothers, little pregame conversation and postgame conversation to see their relationship and see how they even compete within the team.
That was awesome.
You hear Shiloh and Shador say, we see who's going to have the better game. Shiloh had the better game at FAMU. Shador claims the better game in Memphis. We'll see who has the better game tonight in Monroe.
Yes, indeed. That was a tremendous segment to get all three brothers there together, and you saw how close they are as a family. And you talked about the competition between the both.
Hey, Chuck, before we go to Around the SWAC, we got Coach Ricard on. You had just mentioned him earlier. You're at his former home stadium, so I'm going to bring him on.
Okay.
Fellas, how y'all doing?
How you doing, Coach? This is a bit of a reunion for you. You're an alum of ULM. How does it feel to come back to where you became a star fullback?
Yeah, I mean, just full circle. I mean, I just actually got through coaching there from 2016 and 19, coaching the running back. So I'm looking forward to coming back, seeing familiar faces, and just us going out and getting off to a fast start and playing to the best of our ability.
About the Louisiana Monroe program and trying to get back on track, but talk a little bit about that program, especially your time here at UL.
Well, I mean, I met a lot of great friends, guys that I'm still friends with now, and met a lot of good people. So that's when I say I look forward to going back and seeing some familiar faces. Met a lot of great people there, got my start there, and it propelled me to great things as far as making the NFL, getting my degree. So I have a number of fun memories of being back in Monroe.
I tell you what, Coach, and we appreciate everything that you're bringing to this Jackson State program. Special teams, huge punt return last week, Warren Newman, but your work with them, you stay on their neck, but they do a tremendous job, and it is the third phase, offense, defense, and of course, special teams.
Yes, and we just want to do our part. We want to make an impact on the game. In order for us to make an impact, we got to have impact players that understand their assignment and just executing, playing smart and being able to execute what you call them.
Yes, indeed, Coach. Well, we're going to let you get back to walk through. We know you're busy and you guys will be here in a couple of hours. So looking forward to a huge special teams performance tonight.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Yes, indeed. That was Coach Alan Ricard. He is the special teams coach for our Jackson State football Tigers.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to catch up with him because all that time he spent in Monroe, I'm sure he's got some Washita Pass winning stories too. I'm gonna tell you about the one to pull that razor out, man, pull that box cut out on me. Hey, look, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Look, you mess around with Monroe women, you got to be ready for anything. They coming.
Be ready for anything. Speaking of
this is all out blitz.
Being ready for anything. That's what I have to do here with my partner, Neely. Be ready for anything. Washita Parish story.
Chuck, one thing we do before we come back to these Washita Parish women's stories. Listen, man, you have been putting together a wonderful segment that we called Around the SWAC with Chuck Bishop. And I know that we had a SWAC game on Thursday night, and the rest of the SWAC games are getting underway this afternoon before we close it out with that evening kickoff. So tell us a little about Around the SWAC, man. Let's go to that.
Yeah, let's go to that barn burner this past Thursday with Alabama A&M and Bethune-Cookman SWAC East matchup. Alabama A&M was able to come out on top 30-27, a lot of out-of-conference matchups. So let's take a look around the SWAC. Week 3, a lot of great out-of-conference contests and some great in-conference contests as we get ready to go around the SWAC here on the pregame show. Let's start her off. It is a huge Thursday night matchup. It is the Alabama A&M Bulldogs visiting Daytona Beach to take on the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. The Bulldogs come into this game 1-0 after defeating South Carolina State in Week 1. Bethune-Cookman 0-2. Two tough non-conference losses thus far on the season, but when we take a look at this early season SWAC East showdown, Aquil Glass and his bevy of receivers, Abdul Fattah Ibrahim, Adu Hilaire, Xavier Moore, they get ready to take on this historically tough Bethune-Cookman defense led by Ontario Johnson and Caleb Sutherland. Should be a great one from Daytona Beach. That game will be on ESPNU. It is a 6:30 kickoff. Let's head over to Texas where the Houston Baptist Huskies 0-2. They visit the 1-1 Prairie View A&M Panthers. Let's take a look at the Panthers. They are led by quarterback Jawan Pass. Week 1, he passed for over 300 yards against Texas Southern. But let's take a look on the defensive side of the ball. They are led by Trashad Smith and Jason Dumas. Panthers 1-1, trying to defend their home turf against the Houston Baptist Huskies, who are led by sophomore quarterback Blaze Benson and senior linebacker Brennan Young. They dropped their home opener to Northern Colorado. But in that game, Brennan Young, he had 11 tackles. Look for that name. That'll be a 6 p.m. kickoff from the Hill, also known as Prairie View A&M University. We stay in Texas. Let's travel up to East Texas to Nacogdoches, Texas, where it'll be the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. They come into this game 0-1. They take on the 1-1 WAC conference foe, Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. We take a look at Mississippi Valley. They feature preseason All-SWAC selectees, defensive back Caleb Brunson, running back Caleb Johnson, and of course the big man, defensive lineman Jerry Gardner. Texas, we take a look at Stephen F. Austin. They fell short in their upset bid of Texas Tech as they fall short 28-22, but they are led by the quarterback wide receiver duo of Trey Self. Thus far, he's completed 67% of his passes, and Xavier Gibson, who's caught 16 passes for 206 yards and a touchdown. 6 p.m. kickoff from Nacogdoches, Texas, Mississippi Valley State, and Stephen F. Austin. Let's travel back across the SWAC, back over into Florida. It'll be the Florida A&M Rattlers as they take on the University of South Florida Bulls. FAMU coming to this game 1-1, coming off a big victory over Fort Valley State. South Florida 0-2 thus far on the season. Let's take a look at the Rattlers. They are led by Legacy Bowl selectee wide receiver Xavier Smith. On the defensive side of the ball, they are led by defensive tackle Deontay Williams. Huge game against Fort Valley State. He had 3 tackles for losses and 2 sacks in that game. UCF defensively, they're led by safety Vincent Davis, Dwayne Boyles, and Antonio Greer. That will be a 6 p.m. kickoff from Raymond James Stadium. That game can be seen on ESPN+. Let's take it back over to Texas. The Grambling State Tigers, 0-2 coming into this contest, visit University of Houston, who are 1-1. Grambling, they are led by their trio of receivers, Cash Foley, Donald Johnson, and Kobe Ross. They go up against a tough offensive squad in U of H. They are led by quarterback Clayton Toon, who's thrown for 236 yards thus far in the season, and Antonio McCaskill. He rushed for 3 touchdowns as the Cougars retain their Bayou Bucket with a huge 44-7 win over Rice last week. Let's take it up now to Arkansas. University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. They get back into the fray this week as they were off last week. They take on Central Arkansas. UAPB 1-0 thus far on the season. Big, huge early season victory against Lane. Central Arkansas 0-2 coming into this contest. Of course, UAPB, they are led by Skylar Perry, who leads the Golden Lions in passing and rushing in their season opening win versus Lane. When we take a look at the Central Arkansas Bears. 2 of Central Arkansas Bears were honored this past week by the ASUN on Monday with weekly football honors. Sophomore defensive end Logan Jessup, he was named the ASUN Defensive Player of the Week, and freshman running back Tristan Smith was named the ASUN Freshman of the Week. Should be a tough one. Smith leads UCA's rushing attack. Last week he had 79 yards on 8 carries on an average of 9.9 yards per carry. It is the Bears' home opener. They kick this off at 6 p.m. Saturday when they welcome UAPB to First Security Field at Estes Stadium. Let's travel now down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as McNeese State 0-2. They visit the 1-1 Southern Jaguars. When we take a look at McNeese State, they are led by Cody Orgeron at quarterback. He's gone and set a McNeese State record for most consecutive pass attempts without throwing an interception, 159 straight. We take a look at the Southern Jaguars. They are coming off a huge 41-24 victory over Miles. In that game, Craig Nelson, 134 yards. Glendon, Bubba McDaniel, he also went 10 of 13 for 140 yards through the air. 6 p.m. kickoff from A.W. Mumford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Let's travel over now to Alabama, Mobile, as the Alcorn State Braves 1-1. They visit South Alabama, the Braves. Big win last week against Northwestern State. Felix Harper, he threw for over 200 yards. Jawan Taylor and Solomon Wise, they combined for over 17 tackles in that 13-10 over Northwestern State. South Alabama, from the Sun Belt Conference, they are 2-0, and they are led by quarterback Jake Bentley and running back Terrian Avery, who rushed for 82 yards in their huge win over Bowling Green last week. It'll be the Braves visiting South Alabama. That game is a 6 p.m. kickoff as well in Mobile. And finally, we finish up with Jackson State, your 2-0 Tigers. They take on the UL Monroe Warhawks, who are 0-1 thus far on the season. We have to start SWAC Players of the Week, Shador Sanders, 30 of 40, 362 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 30 completions, set a new Southern Heritage Classic record as he distributed the ball last week to a total of 9 different receivers in that huge win with Jackson State over Tennessee State. Not to be outdone on the defensive side of the ball, James Houston, 4.5 sacks last week. He also had 5 tackles for a loss, 10 tackles total. And of course, the cherry on top of the Sunday, Warren Newman, SWAC Player of the Week from the specialist standpoint. He had an 81-yard punt return, huge punt return in that game against Tennessee State. ULM, they are led by wide receiver Boogie Knight, the Akron transfer. He emerged as ULM's most productive offensive threat. He had 6 catches for 58 yards, but the Warhawks were limited to 87 yards on 63 plays and 12 first downs in that opening week loss to the University of Kentucky. It'll be a 7 p.m. kickoff from Monroe, Louisiana. Jackson State taking on the ULM Warhawks. And folks, that is week 3 around the SWAC. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the pregame show with Charles Bishop and Neely. And welcome back to the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network. Charles Bishop and Neely. A lot of great action around the SWAC, Neely. When you take a look, we got some of these SWAC Southland matchups today. I always need to get those recruiting battle wins. Today you got Alcorn, South Alabama, and you also have Southern playing McNeese State. So got to get those regional victories.
Speaking of regional victories, we got a regional game. Offense is coming out of their walkthroughs. Let me give you all a little peek in on the defense and their walkthroughs. So the defense is in here. I'm whispering y'all, but that's Coach Dennis Thurman, Coach Jeff Weeks giving out some last-minute instructions there. DeJohn Nugget Warren in the purple do-rag there talking to C.J. Holmes. Aubrey Miller there giving out instructions with James Hunter. Of course, Shiloh back in the back there, safety position. So they're doing their walkthroughs, Chuck, in the defensive room before we come out for lunch. And the offense is out of their walkthroughs, and they are out for lunch. And the lunch today is catered by Johnny T's, you know, where we are on Friday nights. So I'm gonna bring Johnny T over, Chuck, and Stacks. I'm gonna bring him over, and
Stacks, how you doing, my man?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Well, the owner Johnny T's, man, and you are a landmark in Jackson. It is a must stop for all celebrities, and you're catering Jackson State's football team today.
Yeah, man, we got the call, so we were glad to be a part of the whole movement. Coach Prime put in the call, and we responded.
Well, I know Coach Prime is you're one of his favorite restaurants, so it's only befitting that you cater today's meal for Jackson State. But talk a little bit about what's going on with Johnny T.
Oh wow, Johnny T's right now is on is in an expansion mode. We just opened up a new location in Omaha, Nebraska, and we're looking at the Gulf Coast and maybe even Las Vegas before the end of next year. So we're excited about the whole process.
Now, I have a lot of tourists who ask me where to go when they come to Jackson. I always tell them Johnny T's, but what should they order when they come to Johnny T's?
Oh, wow. We have a competitive menu, as Chef likes to say. So, we got the duck and the lamb and hand-carved steaks. The pastas are made to order. The shrimp and grits is unmatched. That's a tough question. One of my personal favorites is the house special, though. Yeah, I would probably recommend the house special. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the house special, man. You're always gracious to us when we stop by. You've hosted us when we do our Friday shows. We're always appreciative for everything that you do for the pregame show.
Hey, that's what we're here for, man. That's my role.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, definitely appreciate it, Stacks.
No problem. Thank you, brother.
To it now. Yes, indeed. You got your hands full back there. No doubt, no doubt. Yes, indeed.
Now, Chuck, I normally get my plate made long before they come out, but I missed out today. They done beat you, boy, today.
I say they done beat you to the punch today. Yeah. Well, I tell you, some notes of note, Neely. We talked about these FBS, FCS matchups. FCS has knocked off FBS teams 8 times this season. The last time an HBCU did it was in 2018. It was North Carolina A&T knocking